So we've learned how to write an equation from a graphed line already or from a real world situation. But now we're going to write a linear equation when we're given just 2 points. So remember, when we had the graph of a line, we first found our m and our b. We wrote what our b was, we found our rise over our run, we had our slope, so we were able to get our equation. Same thing with the negative. We find our b. Okay, then we go down and right. So we had a negative slope, and then we put those things together. But now there are 2 ways that we can write the equation of a line when we're given 2 points. Remember the examples we just did. We need a slope and we need a y-intercept. So we know how to find a slope when we're given 2 points. But then we need to find the b. And we can use our slope-intercept form to do that. Okay, so cross out on your paper point-slope form and write slope-intercept form. Because you're going to see the steps we're doing today, there is a second way to do it tomorrow. So here's our 2 points. Well, first I have to find my slope. So I subtract my y's over my x's. Remember, rewrite it. Ladies and gentlemen, when you did your slope riddle form, there was a lot of mistakes because you did not rewrite it and you did not write minus a negative. Okay? This gives us negative 8 over 4. My rise is negative 8. My run is 4. That simplifies down to negative 2 over 1, which my slope is just negative 2. So this method, and you get to pick which method you prefer. This method uses my slope-intercept. I'm going to plug in m to find b. I can use any of the given 2 points. So let's pick one negative one. I always go with the smallest value. So y equals mx plus b. Well, remember my slope down here, it was negative 2. So I'm going to replace m with negative 2. But remember, I now know my y, and I can replace it with negative 1. And I know my x, I can replace it with 1. So you don't have to do each one of these steps. You can do this line that we're at now. But I wanted you to see where these numbers came from. Then I do the math. Well, negative 1 would equal negative 2 plus b. I add 2 to both sides, and I find that b equals 1. So look what I have here. I have my m, and I have my b. All you have to do is replace it. So y equals negative 2x plus 1. You just wrote the equation of the line given 2 points. Okay, that would be the answer to this question. So let's look again. Let's try this again. I always first have to find my slope, no matter what. I use my slope formula. So the change in y over the change in x. Rewrite it, ladies and gentlemen, so that it's negative 4 plus 7 over 3 plus 6. I end up with 3 over 9, which simplifies to 1/3. Now, I'm going to use any of my 2 points. I'm just going to pick this one. They're smaller values. So, y equals mx plus b. Remember, my m was 1/3, so I replace it with 1/3. I know my y is negative 4, and my x is 3, so I'm going to replace it. When I do the math, I get negative 4 equals 1 plus b. Subtract 1 from both sides. b equals negative 5. Remember, my slope is 1/3. My b is negative 5. When I put it together, I have the equation of my line. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is a value for your m, if your m has a number value, there must be an x right next to it. This was a mistake people were making on that worksheet last Friday. Okay, so we want you to do the rest of this worksheet on your own. You might have to go back and watch the process and watch the steps, but you should have the steps from those 2 examples written down. Don't try and take a shortcut. Go through the steps, re-watch it. Don't just sit there and say, I can't do it. Mirror the steps that we just did on those 2 examples.